it real. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be somewhat maybe bend some people out of shape. I don't believe Aaron Draplin is extraordinary, period. Full stop. I think he's a normal working class guy who's an underdog in this world, and he happened to find a style, a shtick, a thing that works, and he does it over and over again. In fact, if you study Aaron Draplin's history, he used to work for a man named Charles S. Anderson, who was world famous as a graphic designer who used retro art and revitalized. Have you ever seen a French paper promo? You've seen the work of Charles S. Anderson and his company. And if you look at Fossil Watch, to see now like where Draplin gets his DNA from. So where Charles pulled from the 20s, 30s, and 40s, Draplin's like, let me just recycle the stuff from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So he was like influenced by his mentor, I believe, who he interned for a brief period, and then started doing his thing. Right? And I know people are going to get upset at me. There's nothing that Aaron Draplin does that you could not do. Now, we know him. This is my belief, and we can argue about this if you'd like. We know him because he's an excellent storyteller, that we love his story. And he's a really funny guy. He's super self-aware, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. So we get to know him. He opens the door to his story, and so we can say, yes, we love him. And we learn to love him because we get to know him, not on the strength of his vectors or his thick lines. And we can debate that if you like. Now, here's the crazy thing, and I put myself as Exhibit B in this argument. I've seen these threads happen on Twitter before, where they name the best designer you know. And sometimes my name gets thrown in there. And I'm like, I am not the best designer, but I've done a really good job of making myself known. So then people equate fame with skill and craft. Brian Collins said that to me. Chris, do not mistake fame for skill. I said, of course not, Brian. Go ahead, Raul.
I got a question, but can we reset the room real quick first, Kezia?
Sure.
That's kind of a weird transition, but yeah, Cassia, do it.
Just caught me off guard. Okay. I'm on
Wait,
like
I'm curious.
five
I'm curious. Why did it catch you off guard?
because I was trying to jump in and challenge you a little bit, but we
Why
can
don't
do it
you want to
after.
challenge me after, or are you gonna break momentum here? Well, challenge me.
Well, you said like Oprah and Dita, they're like extraordinary, but they started off as ordinary. They started off as a lot of us did. And do I see myself getting there where Oprah is? Hell yes. So I don't think like they're so out of reach and oh my gosh, they're so big, like we can't use them as examples. I think they should be used as examples, as like aspiration, like we can get there because they did it too. So that's all I wanted to say.
And I think that that's why I asked us to pick when we were preparing for this personal brands. I believe the question was, why are we drawn to certain personal brands? And so for me and Kezia, and I think I can speak for Raul too, like we definitely, I see the humble beginning of Dita, and I see her, even though I'm 40 years old, I still be like, she totally flipped the script on what she was and where she is now. And so I'm drawn to personal brands like that, where I see, yeah, I can do that. And so when Chris says, Stephanie, are you going to be the Dita of your space? Hell freaking yes,